Hello and welcome to Shelley's Sacred Space, and thank you for joining me today. Today is Orange Shirt Day. Now, Orange Shirt Day is based on the story by Phyllis Webstad, who, at the age of 6, was heading to her first year of residential school. She was excited. Her grandmother had gone with her to pick out something brand new for school, and she picked out a beautiful orange shirt. On her first day of school, that orange shirt was taken away and not returned. No matter how much she cried, how much she asked, how much she begged, she was not given it back. This led to multiple feelings, including worthlessness. It had such an effect that the color orange now triggered the trauma of the year that she spent in that residential school. She had no say, no rights, was not respected, was not treated with any form of dignity. She was looked down upon and continually told that she had no worth in different ways. She is not the only person who has suffered. She is not the worst story out there. But her story is impactful enough to make us stand up and listen. And this day is about listening to stories. I recommend going on YouTube and finding stories about the Indigenous people, the residential schools, read up on some things, listen to stories. The last residential school to be closed was in Saskatchewan, and it was closed in 1996. That's not that long ago. I tried to find the total number of children that have died at residential schools and could not find an exact number. I did find that there have been, and this was in 2023, 656 known deaths in Ontario only of residential school children. Some would have been from illness. When you do not value another human being, you don't care what their conditions are like. When they created the residential schools, they didn't create them with everyone having their own dorm and their own space. They packed as many children in as they could. You shared a big room with a lot of people, beds lined up one after the other, maybe even stacked on top. I was never part of a residential school, so I don't know. Illness travels fast, especially when there is not care taken. Clean water, food, strength for the body, fuel for the soul. These are things that were denied. Some deaths were caused due to unkept standards of equipment. So when children were playing on the playground and it broke, when screens were taken out to be fixed and not replaced, and children fell out of windows, when chores needed to be done that were not safe and the proper precautions were not taken. I just, we need to remember that we have been privileged and that people have suffered, not necessarily at my hand, but definitely at my ancestors' hands. And not directly, I don't know of anyone who ran or taught in a residential school in my family line, but that doesn't matter because every human being at that time allowed this to happen. And most of it might have been because they didn't know, but they also didn't know because they didn't look into it. How much of this is going on now in this day and age that we don't know, but with a different group? I implore you, if nothing else, start treating every human being the way you want to be treated. Could you imagine what the world would be like if we did that?